Today, I'll be making the strongest Hashira in all of Demon Slayer. That's right, we're gonna be creating a character so powerful they can solo all the demons on their own and even stand head and shoulders above Muzan himself, and even surpass the legendary Yoriichi. We'll be looking at all the traits a powerful Demon Slayer should have and give our creation the most powerful of them all. Now, before we get too ahead of ourselves, we're gonna lay some ground rules. Rule 1 is, their skills must be something possible in the series. We wouldn't want to create some insane godly overlord, even though that would be awesome. And rule 2, if we're taking a trait from an existing character, we can only use that character once. So, if we take Tanjiro's rock hard skull, we can't take any of his other traits. Stick with me till the end to see the most unnecessarily overpowered Hashira ever. Firstly, our powerful Hashira needs to have a breathing style. There's a lot of powerful breathing styles in the show that the Hashira use, but if I had to choose the strongest to give to our new character, it would have to be the most powerful Demon Slayer that has ever existed. Yoriichi Sugikuni and his sun breathing are a terror to Muzan, so much so that just the sight of Tanjiro's Hanafuda earrings brought Vietnam War flashbacks to her King of Pop look-alike. The sun breathing technique is the source of every other breathing technique in the series, by far the strongest. If our character became a master at sun breathing, then just like his predecessor, our Hashira would easily be able to overwhelm any of the upper rank moon demons and even Muzan himself. Also, if we give our character Yoriichi sun breathing, he will inevitably develop the see-through world, the mark, and a bright red sword that's so strong that even the King of Demons wouldn't be able to regenerate. Muzan himself said that Tanjiro's techniques with sun breathing were far inferior to Yoriichi's, but Tanjiro still managed to put up an impressive fight in his own right. So, by giving our character full control of its abilities, enough to rival even Yoriichi, then his win is guaranteed. But a strong breathing style isn't nearly enough. They also need to be strong enough in terms of raw physical strength. There's a lot of strong characters in the series we can borrow strength from. Tanjiro, for example, in his solid skull. Tengen is 6'5", 210 pounds of pure muscle. And although both of them are strong, there's way better examples of strong characters we can use. So, let's see if I can really pull it off. If we're looking for raw physical strength, then without a doubt we have to go with Guillaume. Guillaume is easily the strongest member of the Demon Slayer Corps, and casually does immense feats of strength comparable to me lifting up cardboard. His main feats involve things like using his heavy Nichiren chained flail and axe, and swinging it at speeds faster than the eye can see, as well as easily pushing a large boulder through a town with barely any effort. And also pounding Inosuke headfirst into the ground after he challenged Guillaume to a fight. Yeah, that really happened. In terms of strength, he's unmatched. He refined his physical abilities to its absolute limits as said by Kokoshibo himself. So let's take that impressive trait and add it to our list. So that definitely puts our Hashira up there, but it's not nearly enough to surpass Yoriichi just yet. But I've got some traits saved up to make up for that. Next up, naturally after strength, we're gonna need to talk about our Hashira's speed. We can't have a slow bulk of muscle now, can we? We've seen a lot of the Hashira and other members of the Demon Slayer Corps move at speeds that shouldn't even be possible. For example, Yoriichi's speed is insane, and probably unmatched by any Hashira, shown by the fact that he was able to cut 1,500 pieces of flesh in the blink of an eye, putting him close to light speed level of speed. But we can't use any of Yoriichi's abilities anymore, remember? So this is off the table. What about our favorite donut Hashira? Rengoku, for instance, moved so fast during his final fight with Akaza that Inosuke was too terrified to even move. Still, does that make him the fastest option we have? Definitely not. And he has much better traits that we're definitely going to use later, so stick around. Besides him, we've heard characters claim that Shinobu is the fastest Demon Slayer of her generation. It's well known that she's not well equipped when it comes to strength, and so she uses her immense speed and poison techniques to kill demons. However, despite all that, over on this channel, we use facts and feats, and the numbers here don't lie. If we had to choose a character's speed, it would without a doubt have to be Tengen. Tengen's speed was showcased perfectly in the Entertainment District arc during his fight with Daki, where he moved so fast that he seemed to teleport. It would be perfect if the Sound Hashira could actually move at the speed of sound. Even the upper rank moons would be hard pressed to keep up with them, and that makes him the perfect candidate for our speed category. Okay, so breathing style, check. Strength, check. Speed, check. We're getting steadily close to our goal of wiping the floor with Yoriichi and Muzan tied to the same pole, but we're just not quite there yet. Let's see if the next few gifts I've got under my sleeve can make up for it. Regardless, all these stats don't mean anything for a Demon Slayer if they can't make use of the most essential piece of equipment that any Slayer must have. I'm talking about their sword skills, of course. Imagine having the most overpowered hacks abilities, but wielding a sword like a fisherman with butter in his shoes. That's a weird analogy, I know, but picture it, and you'll get why we just can't leave our Hashira like this. So let's look out for a character with unmatched skills handling a sword. Yoruichi would have been a great character for this category, but we're following the rules here, so we can't take traits from a character more than once. In that case, what other option do we have? Well, there's Shinobu, a character with incredible speed and a special ability. She's pretty handy with a sword, considering that she has to be precise with her swings and hits to deliver her special poisons to her targets in a way that's sure to kill them. However, her skills are built around her inability to cut off a demon's head due to her lack of strength. Not really the best pick for our character, strong enough to pick up a small car like it's a rock. Also, I want to save one of her more better abilities for later, so stick around to find out. So, who next has special abilities wielding a sword? Well, how about Obanai? As the Serpent Hashira, his swordsmanship style is naturally meant to resemble a slithering snake, which makes him a strange opponent to fight against. His movements with the blade are fluid and deceptive, and to perfectly capture that sense of motion, he uses a heavily modified Nichiren katana with a curvy, wave-like shape. Can you imagine how intimidating it would be to see this incredibly strong Demon Slayer charging at you at the speed of sound while also moving around so strangely that you can't keep up with their movements? That's terrifying to think about, which means it's perfect for our Hashira. So we're taking the modified katana from Obanai and his skills with the sword. So now we got a strong, fast, and cunning Hashira with the breathing style in the series. That already is scarily strong, but we're not even close to done. We're going all out and bringing it home, baby. If you're enjoying this video so far, we really appreciate it. These things take a long time to make, so if you could show some support by hitting the like and subscribe button, that would be an amazing feat. But now enough of that sap. Back to the overpowered character creation screen. Our Hashira is already incredibly powerful, but they're also young. Most Hashira in the series are usually between the ages of 18 to 21, so our Hashira would fall within that age range. That gives them many more years of their lives to grow and develop their skills. So the next thing we have to consider is their potential for growth. Most of the Hashira are already touching base with their prime, so it's hard to measure based on just how they seem so far. But there's one Hashira who still has more than enough room for growth. Moichiro is the youngest Hashira in the series, and according to Rengoku, he also has the most potential and is even stronger than he was at his age. At the age of 14, he already has incredible demon kills under his belt, including Gyoko, the 5th highest ranking demon of the 12 Kizuki. If our Hashira had this potential to grow and develop, they would go from just overpowered to absolutely godlike. Now we're getting where we need to go. Our Hashira's abilities are already stacked massively in their favor, and should have Yoruichi shaking in his large kimono. But all that means absolutely nothing if they don't have the willpower to fight on the front lines. Imagine being incredibly strong, but a massive coward. So next up, we gotta fill in the mental fortitude of our Hashira. One person that comes to mind is Tengen. During the Entertainment District arc, his determination to search for his wives was commendable, as well as his impressive fight with the Upper Moon 6 demon. But we've already used one of Tengen's traits before, so he's out. What about Tanjiro? He's pretty strong in the head, and I'm not just talking about his titanium skull. Still, while Tanjiro is incredibly courageous in his own right, we need someone who's experienced, incredibly skilled, and a leader by his actions, not just his words. And who else but Rengoku to fill this spot? We all know Rengoku's incredible sacrifice during the Mugen Train arc, including the unparalleled fight he put up against a demon even while on the verge of death. That takes utter guts and willpower to stand your ground to the very end to accomplish your goals. One other impressive feat is the fact that even with how borderline traumatic and deadly the Mugen Train incident was, Rengoku did not let a single person die except himself. No matter what, his goal was always to protect others, and he did that to the very end with a smile on his face. With feats like that, our Hashira will fight with their heart set ablaze and never back down from any challenge. Well, now that we've got the basics down with their speed, strength, and willpower, now all our Hashira needs are just plain hacks to make them unmatched in any field. You see, I told you I've got some tricks under my sleeve. Now let's put the icing on this spicy cake, shall we? Almost all the Hashira in Demon Slayer have unique abilities that put them on par or above the rest. There's a reason they're Hashira after all. So let's see which one can make their already overpowered character even better. Well, first off, Shinobu has come up a few times for her other talents, but by far her most potent and deadly talent has to be her poison creation and application. I did say that I was keeping her for later, and here she is for her big moment. She's not strong enough to chop off a demon's head, so she relies on her special poison applied in her sword to kill her opponents. With our Hashira's speed and strength, they can use a poison-tipped sword to slowly weaken an enemy even if they didn't use their enormous strength to overpower them. Then there's also the living bottle of sake for demons. Sanemi and his intoxicating blood can make demons go wild. Think of it like a cat getting its first taste of catnip. With their special blood, they can easily make any demon lose focus and become overwhelmed during the fight, maybe even purposely letting themselves get injured in order to use their blood to their advantage. Getting injured can't be a perk if you become weakened from it, so how about they also have Mitsuri's muscle density? Whether our Hashira is built like a mountain or a stoner, the enhanced muscle density would make it so that any injury they receive, even if it's harsh enough to draw blood, would be nothing but a scratch. And finally, for the cherry on top, we can take a look at the indomitable defense of Gyu. The water Hashira is able to survive and continue to attack even after taking what should be fatal injuries. He was so impressive, even Akaza had to recognize his strength and offer to make him a demon, something Akaza only offers to the most worthy of opponents. And there you have it. Our Hashira has unmatched skills in strength, speed, endurance, as well as other hacks. With stats like that, who in the world could even hope to challenge them? I personally think our Hashira heavily outclasses Yoriichi and should have Muzan running for the hills under the sunlight. As a final treat, let's give this new Hashira a name. How about Takeru, a strong and mighty Hashira and the strongest in existence. He's so strong, I'm sure he can take on every member of the upper and lower moons without breaking a sweat. If you don't believe me, well then maybe you just don't know enough about him. So why don't you check out another one of our other Demon Slayer videos? Come on, click it. And don't forget to subscribe to see more of our content.